Hello. So here we have 189 divided by 11. So how can we go ahead and compute this with exploding dots in a 10 to 1 machine? Well, we have 189. So we go ahead and put 189 dots all in our ones box. So instead of writing all the dots, I have to go ahead and put 189 here. So we have 189 dots, and I'm looking for, well, groups of 11, right? Dividing by 11 means we're going to find how many groups of 11 are there in 189. Well, let's see. I think if we do 11, how many groups of 11 are in 189? Well, 11 times 10 is 110. Okay, and if we keep on adding 11s, I think we go 11 times 17. Well, 11 times 17 is 187. So actually, we're going to have 17 groups of 11. If I made all my dots in here, I could go ahead and circle 17 groups of 11. So we have 17 groups of 11 here, but then how many dots are left over? Well, 11 times 17 is 187. So therefore, we have two dots that are left over in our ones box here. So we have two dots here that are left over. Okay, well, now what can we do? Well, again, this is a 10 to 1 machine, means 10 dots in any box become one dot, one space to the left. So if we have a dot, it would have to come from 10 dots. We can go ahead, we can unexplode this dot, zoop, that would become 10. And the same thing here, zoop, right? Each one of those dots become 10 here. So then 10 and 10, so I have 20 dots in this box here, or in our 1/10 box. Okay, well, any more groups of 11? Well, yeah, how many? Well, I guess just one, right? Because 11 times 1 is 11, and then 11 times 2 is 22. So I only have one group of 11 here. So, and then one group of 11. And then how many dots are left over? Well, 20 minus 11 is 9. So therefore, I have 9 dots left over in this box here. 9 dots left over. Okay, but then, well, what can we do? There's no more groups of 11 in 9, but we could unexplode each one of those dots, right? Each one become 10 dots. Whoops, one space over. So therefore, unexplode all 9 of those dots, and then we'd have 10, 20, 30, 40, all the way up to 90 dots, right? So I have 90 dots now in this box here. And then do we see any more groups of 11? Well, yeah, right. We see actually, I think 8, right? Because 8 times 11 is 88. So we would see 8 groups of 11 at this box here, but then, well, that would account for 88 dots. So that would leave 2 dots left over, right? Okay, so if I have 2 dots left over, I could again unexplode each one of those dots. So zoop, zoop, right? And then each one of those become 10. So then we have 10 and 10. So we have 20 dots now in this box. And do we see any groups of 11? Well, sure, but just one, right? I only see one group of 11 here. And that would leave, well, 9 dots left over. Okay, but then each one of those 9 dots could then unexplode. So then we'd have 90 dots in this box here. And then, well, do we see any groups of 11? Well, sure. How many? Well, 8 again, right? Because 11 times 8 is 88. So I could go ahead, I could circle 8 groups of 11 in my 90 dots here. And that would give me 8 groups of 11. But then that would leave, well, that would account for 88 dots. So therefore, that would leave 2 dots left over. So if we have 2 dots left over, well, again, we're looking for groups of 11. Well, we could unexplode each one of those. Each one of those become 10. So we have 10 and 10. So therefore, we have 20 dots in this box here. And we see, well, one group of 11, right, with 9 left over. And we can see that we're going to be doing this process a very, very long time. Actually, forever, right? Because it's going to, again, unexplode, right? 90, 90 in this box. And then we see 8 groups of 11, 8 more groups, but that would leave 2 dots left over. And if we continued, right, each one of those 2 dots could unexplode. We'd have 20 dots. We'd see 1 more group of 11. And we can see here, we can literally see what the answer is to 189 divided by 11. That is clearly equal to 17.181818. And those 1/8 are going to continue forever. So there it is, 17.18 repeating. Cool. Take care.